motherfuckers. We're Luddite.
Booty,
God
booty,
damn
booty,
it.
rockin'
Wow.
everywhere.
Y'all
hear how she talked?
Wow.
Y'all hear how she talked to us during Black
Go live when she
History?
was
During
talking to us
Black
like that?
History
You should
Month.
You should wait till after she was done yelling at us to go live.
It was 5. We got 5 whole days left in this month. And this
Can I speak to the manager?
That'd be so wild.
Everybody at Jordan on Twitter and like
Oh my God.
Cancel.
I love just casually gaslighting Jordan.
like, see, here's the thing.
That's gonna get clipped and out of context.
Yeah, I know it will. Don't you
Yeah,
fucking dare,
1000% will.
motherfuckers.
What I want to say is I want to speak to Jordan's manager, but that's fair.
Yeah, I was
So
gonna say
Fair.
fair.
Fair, I already
just
agree
talk-
with you.
Can we just talk about your employee Joanna? I think is their name.
Joanna. Yeah, that sounds
Out
about
of
right,
here. Get out of here, Sin.
what the fuck is
Hi
that?
everyone, welcome in. As you can probably tell, we're very
I did the exact same thing.
children. We're very neurospicy today because we have a full cast, which is so good. So welcome on in, y'all. I am DNDJordanLea. I hate y'all so much. I am your storyteller and joined by this phenomenal and very neurospicy cast. We love it. Before we get started, a very special thank you to our sponsors and affiliations with Found Familiar. Make sure to use DNDJordanLea and AmpistranoDND when you check out for a percentage off your purchase, as it does help to support the cast. Also, a very special thank you to Idle Champions. Please go make sure to check out their game that they have. There's actually an Electrum chess code that is on the overlay and will be popping up in the chat if you enter an exclamation point idle. But let's go around real quick since it's been a minute since we've had the full cast here. And let's start with Dimples.
Why I sound like somebody got a pressure cooker?
Yeah,
going
what's
on
going
right
on?
now?
It's Romo.
Look at her wrist.
What were you doing?
I think he's got
Shuffling cards. I can see.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, you making oxtails, my guy? Because I'll come over.
Hello, I am Dimples and Dice, aka the Moist Heats. I will be playing Captain Draven Tideborn and Gribble this wonderful Saturday. I ain't got shit else to tell y'all. Just stay here, watch the show, enjoy. Because we super woke.
Yes, we are. Thank you. Sin.
Hello, everyone. My name is Sinziak, part of the cast of the Wokest AP on the Twitch streets over here. My pronouns are he and they. I'm going to be playing Blackstone today with a bit of a cold, which is why you get to enjoy this nice and silky baritone, whose pronouns are they, but he sometimes is fine.
Amazing. Thank you, Sin. Let's jump over to Robo.
Hi, it's me, the woke TTRPG. My pronouns are any and all pronouns, and I'll be playing Toby. I don't know what else is woke. I am
Things that are woke actually being...
oh yeah, I am Latino. Brown. I don't know what else. Blank. Next, April.
Am I next?
Yes.
I'm next. Hi, I'm next. I'm April. I also have pronouns. They are she, they. My character has pronouns. They are she, her, but I mean, I guess they are still pronouns. If you have a problem with pronouns, I don't understand that part, but I mean, okay. I'm a fairy. I forgot what else I'm supposed to say. I'm a fairy.
Any announcements that you might have for this upcoming week of shows or
A
things? you're
monk and
doing?
fairy?
I'm a monk and moon fairy.
Yeah, there you go.
Thank you, Prince. You could do my introduction for me next time.
Girl,
That's all I got.
fairy.
A what kind of fairy? What did you say? I don't know if that was.
Gorilla.
I do lose my patience and just start hitting things.
No, I didn't know that about you. Anyways, fair. It's up to you.
Who? I mean, me, the true owner of the channel.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Farron. My pronouns are she, her. Sorry for being too woke about it. I'm playing Theodora Shadeson. Her pronouns are also she, her. Again, sorry for the wokeness. My bad. I'll be sure to stop being so politically correct moving forward.
And again, I'm DNDJordanLea, she, her, they pronouns. Yeah. So, as a heads up, we use safety tools and content warnings throughout each of our games of Ampistrano, including multiple check-ins. So as a heads up and a content warning for this episode, we have heightened levels of stress, anxiety, grief, mentions of death, descriptions of injured or slain individuals, existential crises, and complex and complicated relationships. We at the Haven and Vale want you to be safe, so if you need to step away, please do. You and your safety matter. There is currently an ongoing strike happening. It is supposed to end tomorrow, but the work doesn't stop tomorrow either. You can enter !BC in the Twitch chat in order to get resources and information to keep you informed. This is everything from emailing your state representatives about the ceasefire, to which companies to avoid and why, to hey, you're neurospicy like us, and that is a lot to take in. Oftentimes, we feel like there has to be an all or nothing effort behind what we do, but it's really important to keep in mind what we can do and do our part as well. Free Palestine. We are also raising money for Palestine's Children's Relief Fund now through May 1st. PCRF is an amazing organization that works to ensure that medical care is given to sick and injured children in Palestine at no cost to their families. From checkups to surgeries, this organization works to cover it all. You can enter !PCRF for a Tiltify link to donate. We also just announced our next Games for Change event, which will be happening Thursday, April 25th through Sunday, April 28th. Games for Change is a 3.5-day TTRPG weekend that works to raise money and awareness about various causes and organizations, with the reminder that it's important to focus on these causes year-round, not just during specific months or in response to what is happening in the world. In the last 4 years, we have raised over $33,000 for various charities and organizations. The signups are currently live on our Discord and on Twitter, so keep an eye out. And they will remain open until Friday, March 1st at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific. Other ways you can help support us is by checking out our Patreon. We put a bunch of stuff on there in regards to our wonderful cast and our characters, everything from playlists to write-ups about the characters and even interviews. So please consider joining our Patreon, following us on YouTube, TikTok, and across all socials. But a very special thank you to Sphinx, Seven, Mama Strange, Fluffy Snowfall, Chris Gideon, Buzz Lightyear, Lily42, and Goblin Katie for your support. All right. Is there anything else that I am missing before we get started?
Yes.
Okay.
We shouldn't turn our attention away from Palestine, but just please be aware that there are several other genocides and other land back movements going on right now that also require attention and funding and care. So make sure you're paying attention to Sudan. You're honestly paying attention to most of the Middle East right now, if I'm being honest with you. Haiti, Congo, Tigray, Hawaii, make sure that all of these. I said Sudan.
I think Puerto Rico is the most recent add to that list too,
Yeah,
so
Puerto Rico.
fine.
So we understand it can be overwhelming, but do not turn your attention or your hearts or anything away from these movements, because they are important and just as vital as what's going on in Palestine right now.
Agreed. Mental Lamia has actually been doing a wonderful series kind of going into greater detail about what's been going on, specifically with the Congo, and is currently raising money with Friends with Congo. So I highly recommend you go check out their Twitch because they have the direct link there, and we've been retweeting it out as well. But every little bit helps. So yeah, thank you very much for that wonderful reminder. All right, y'all. Without further ado, let us go beyond the veil of Ampistrano.
That was so
And we're
aggressive.
back.
Show us, Sin, show us your thighs.
Respectfully, I don't think anybody's prepared for that.
Oh, we are.
Honestly,
but
it
I'm
was
in- I'm
it
down.
truly was a privilege to see them, and I don't want anybody else to have that privilege.
Also, since tomorrow is Jordan's birthday, everybody wish Jordan a happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Wish Jordan a happy birthday with cash at her coffee.com/
At coffee.com
DND.
DNDJordanLea.
Lordy B, thank you all.
You knew that off the top of your head, right, Robo?
Yes.
Before we actually get started with my opening little monologue, April and Sin, can you please roll a Constitution savings throw?
No.
I did, or I rolled those. I made those rolls earlier for you.
Okay, what did you roll?
19.
19. Okay.
A nat 20.
Okay, yeah,
Damn.
we all are not exhausted. Good. So, that's what I wanted to ask before I progress. So, when last we left our adventurers, the group took a day to rest up and reset after an exhausting night and near death after being ambushed at their camp. Each processing in their own way the events that unfolded with the loss they almost suffered. When dawn approached, the group decided to trek the entire day to make up for lost time, taking small breaks when needed, but otherwise silently moving forward on the goal to reach Illipin. The next day continued, getting closer to Illipin, and as night fell, each of the adventurers had dreams. Toby met with the transformed Bolita, speaking about the power within, and to be more careful when making decisions. Theodora went on a dream walk with Sparky, ending up making contact with their brother and the rest of the tribe. Captain Draven, however, received a vision of sorts. Their ship caught in a storm, and trying to save a merchant on a small buoy before a giant serpent took their ship down. Just before the serpent struck, a sea dragon defended the captain, asking, "What will you do when someone is drowning?" Awakening, Captain Draven from his slumber and choking on seawater. And that is where we pick up for today. Captain, you are one that can breathe in the water without issue, but it does take a moment or two to adjust. It's not the seawater itself that seems to be the issue that causes you to come to so quickly, coughing violently. The salty, brackish taste and smell assaulting your senses is something of a familiar memory. It's the suddenness of it, and an essence of something more as you see something fall onto the ground as you're kind of quickly pulling to the side and coughing up the seawater, and it glints in the firelight, glimmering and changing colors, what appears to be a small seashell. The rest
the
of
fuck?
you would hear this too, by the way.
Yeah, the first thing Draven does say is just literally, "What the fuck?" and then looks to seashell.
Okay.
I didn't eat this.
No, and it doesn't look like the kind of stereotypical spiraled seashell. It's flat. It looks almost like a sand dollar, but instead of the usual whiteness and essence of almost leaves in the dollar itself, it's a black material, very reminiscent of the armor that Theodora has been donning. That black, almost looking oily, that kind of in the firelight glimmers from deep hues of purples to blacks to blues. It's not massive. It's, probably about a quarter size. I hate you. I'm looking at the Zoom chat.
Yeah, I think Draven's like just sitting up and grabs this thing. It's just like, this is a weird way to send a message. Any, is anybody else up seeing that? It was like,
You all would have heard like the sound of almost gasping and coughing. So it's up to
Captain.
you whether you wake up or not.
Toby, I think, wakes up and runs to Captain Draven. Captain,
fine, I'm fine.
are you though?
Do you ever wake up spitting up shells? Is that a thing that happens in this group?
No.
Cool.
Is
So
this a thing you do? Is this something to do?
No.
That's it? That's all we get?
Well, listen, once everybody wakes up, I'll tell the tale to everyone. But until then, let's
Everybody
just say
get
that
up.
What?
Okay.
Why? What? Why are you yelling?
There's seawater and shells coming out of Captain Draven.
yeah, I had some sort of oh, this is gonna sound really weird when I say it, but a godly vision.
I feel like
'Cause
nobody reacts when you say it. Like, okay.
Cool. So everybody just accepts this. That makes this a lot easier. And then Draven just recounts the whole story. Like the serpent asking the questions, the being on like going to the buoy to go to say like the little not buoy, but the little tiny ship to save someone. It's just like telling you all of that. And then I woke up choking on a shell. This.
Go ahead.
Do you tell us about the serpent eating its own tail?
Mm-hmm.
Ouroboros.
Yeah, this word has been mentioned in my presence, but I don't understand the full context of.
That's the name of the group that's causing all the problems.
Got it.
Jordan, can I make a history check to see what I know about just general, like not about the society, but about if there's just here's what an Ouroboros is, as far as like myths or lore in the world of Ampistrano, if that exists.
Sure. Yeah, you can do that.
Okay.
Are the Ouroboros supposed to be on our side or against us?
Group definitely against us. I don't know about your vision.
Yeah, that's why I have questions about this. Anybody else had any of these?
That's a 20 on history.
Okay.
Nope.
I roll anything about if I knew stories of this kind of thing happening?
Specifically, what kind of thing happening?
Like the thing that's happening to Tideborn.
Sure.
I had a pirate who told me a bunch of stories growing up. So
You did. Yep. You can easily do that. For the 20 that you have, Ouroboros is not one of those like standard symbols or things that have been used across Ampistrano, truthfully. Snakes, sure. And there's a bunch of lore in regards to snakes and the signs that can often come from that, such as warnings, things like that, weather changes. But the Ouroboros itself, based off of that 20, and also some of the research you all did in the Library of Shadows, there's really not that much. You know for a fact, based off of your own adventures and your explorations and dives into the library and memories, that Cedric Whitlock was working on something and mentioned a great beast. So it's very possible that it is that Ouroboros. There's also been mention of a Leviathan. So it's even with a 20, it's a little bit difficult because the history and the writings around it are so fragmented.
Okay.
April, what did you get?
I got like a 7. I don't know anything.
I'll give you've heard of a dragon near Jorix that made a deal with the founders of Jorix that basically, hey, you can take this area, but the sea is mine. And has always, at least the lore of it, has always kept a watchful eye on Jorix, but has not ever intervened, kind of thing. That's something for sure you have heard of. But in regards to specific things or visions or this kind of contact, that is, to your knowledge at least, too many stories are bouncing in your head. It's kind of hard to piece together.
Captain, what was happening before you had this vision? Were you just asleep?
Mm-hmm. Weird stuff has started happening since I've been around y'all. Just being completely honest.
Yeah, that's how it goes with us.
Also, I suppose some explanation might be in order. So, here is a small bit of possibly helpful information. And in your mind, there is a big, there's a space. It is basically nothing but white in this room. There are no other objects here. There's just you and Blackstone for all practical purposes. And in like a fair bit above you is this blazing symbol of this snake eating its tail. For every attack that we have seen against major cities, universities, and magicians, the town that we went to just before this one, and even so far as we've been in Felt, whenever something goes awry, it is from people who bear tattoos related to this. And you get visions of things that don't make any sense. Like you see a girl like encased in in teal colored crystals. You see what looks like Toby just having a really bad day. You see ominous looking orchids. You see magic circles with candles around them. You see us fighting with something that looks like a nature spirit at the base of some really large tree. You see carts full of wands with black crystals full of purple energy. You see a giant pyramid that is also crackling with the same black and purple energy.
This is all stuff that's happened to you.
Some of the things that have happened, and unfortunately, not everything that has happened yet, so. We consider these people to be hostile. It is a curious thing for you to have been reached out to this creature in a direct manner, though, as we have not seen that happen before. This is new. Normally, there is an all-consuming void. And when you say when you hear all-consuming void, you see this place that looks like some kind of magical plane where there are stars in the sky, and all of a chunk of the stars are all cascading toward a particular point that just looks like a giant black hole. But this, not this. I don't know if this is different, but I also do not know if it is good. I am concerned. What has Cribble said about this?
I mean, Cribble's just be learning about this too. So Cribble's like, well, Cap, I think we need to get to work. You don't have an army, but looks around at the rest of the crew. These guys seem like they know what they're doing.
I was gonna say something, but I guess the only answers we could get is when we get closer to the sea, then. Are you connected to a god, Captain?
No, he's not. I can answer for myself, Cripple. No, I am not one of the faithful.
I don't know if that is the question that Toby has asked.
I suppose if a god has hitched themselves to me and riding on my back, then sure, good for them. Hopefully they put their faith in the right person. But I don't pray because prayers can go unanswered. I do things.
Was this the first time you've ever gotten something like this?
Yeah.
Insight check. No, I'm kidding.
There's no deception. The captain
no, I'm kidding. But I don't know anything about sea stuff other than the stories I've read, so I think that we just have to keep going, and when we get to Jorix, was it? The sea?
Yes,
Or-
Dorix. Yep.
Don't worry, Toby. I know plenty about the sea. One of the first things you need to know is if you can't swim, you probably shouldn't jump in.
Is it true that there's a dragon that in the ocean that protects Jorix? Have you seen it? I don't like dragons. They're not fun.
I have not seen a dragon.
Okay, good. I
I
don't
have.
know if there's a dragon.
Taken out a sea serpent or two in my time, though. But not like the one I saw in that was something else.
Oh. Well, welcome to the club. Everybody has weird stuff going on, so now you're part of the club, officially.
Raven looks at you like severely after you say it. Was that meant to be a joke? Oh, fish.
I hate that your brain and I, our brains went to the same place at the same time. I hate that shit. I hate it because I almost said the same thing.
I don't think it's very funny, Toby.
Well, I think it is. So,
I get it now. It was funny, Toby.
thank you.
Raven just laughs and pats you on the shoulder. Thank you for looking out for me, though. I'm not usually one to be choking on water, so I don't think that's going to be a normal occasion.
Not normally choke on water. As I understand it, most life forms that don't live in the water naturally do.
Yeah, but I do, so.
Is Draven a Triton or what?
Mhm.
Asimar? Oh,
Triton.
Asimar. No, the other.
Choking on seawater as a person as a literal denizen of the sea. I wonder if the sea is where you went then. I suppose those are questions for another time.
Or for another entity.
Or just theorizing now.
I
Yeah.
think no matter what, we have to go to the sea anyway. So it's likely we'll find our answers when we get to Jorix.
We got a mountain to head to first, right?
Yep.
It's on the way,
Why
but
we
our
need to go back to
destination
sleep.
is Jorix. Yeah, Deodora did not sit up at all. Like she was been awake, but like just was like laying on her bedroll, sort of like her body turned towards the rest of the group to listen in. But like
Yeah, Ori is sat up.
she's had a night. She dreamed walk. She's tired, and she doesn't mention this to anybody.
We should go back to bed because we have to get up early, and then L'Oreal lays back down.
It's still night then? Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, you
we
can
haven't
kind of
fully
see the
rested.
whispers of sun through the it's still storming outside. So it's been raining nonstop since you left Felk.
Okay.
So you can kind of see a little bit of the sun kind of trying to fight through the clouds as dawn is approaching, but so you could probably get a couple more hours of sleep if you so chose.
Okay. So
Suppose I can keep watch for a couple of hours while you all sleep before we have to move on.
Hey, Blackstone.
All right.
are you feeling all right, Blackstone?
What's up?
That is a good question. Perhaps by the time we leave, I will have an answer for you.
And each of you
All right.
slowly go back.
It's okay to not feel okay.
There's a nod, and then there's just a moment that Blackstone picks a spot that looks like a good spot to keep an eye on things from, and just kind of makes themselves comfortable there.
The rain continues to fall
Well,
outside. A couple hours pass as you
You're
can't
muted,
hear
Jordan.
No, I just need to speak louder. The rain continues to fall outside as each of you slowly, in your own way, fall back asleep. Blackstone keeping watch over everything. But eventually, dawn does approach on this still very rainy, cloudy day, but you can still see the sun fighting through, trying to break through the kind of veil of clouds that seem to kind of have it in a chokehold as a new day awakens. What are y'all doing?
Back on the path, I
Alright.
think.
Hold
Gets
again.
up, packs up, heads
Yeah.
out.
Love it.
He's gonna stick
Basically,
around here.
Yep.
y'all would just hear Blackstone off in the trees nearby and the sounds of just something like something hitting the trees nearby.
Blackstone.
I believe that means it's time to go. And just puts things away and joins up with the rest of the party to go where we're going.
Okay. Could
Maybe these trees are just fucked up.
Yeah.
Could I possibly?
You know what?
Oh, go on.
I just rolled a d4 to see how many of them there are at random. It's 2 trees.
Okay.
2 trees are fucked up.
Damn.
Whoever is. Oh, go on, Toby.
Blackstone. When I recommend something, this is just the druid in me. But when you hurt a tree, can you fix a tree?
I do not know. I have not yet learned the secret for mending living things.
Well, when you do, just let me know, and I'll give you seeds to plant them back.
Well, I suppose if that's the case, would you like me to plant a seed now?
Please.
Okay. I will need 2 of those.
There you go. No druidcraft seeds.
And I just pick a couple of open spaces that don't seem to be overly crowded by trees to plant them.
And I'll just... Can I do that? Seed pod. I can make a flower blossom, a seed pod open, or a leaf bloom. So I'll use druidcraft to make the seeds grow a little bit. Yeah, that's what I'll do.
Okay. And what seeds are you planting?
Well, if I can see the trees, I would pick a fruit or whatever it is, or just touch the tree and know what kind of tree it is, and make a seed out of that.
Sure. You can tell in this area they're largely willows that are in this area. There's not much of a variation otherwise. Not really a lot of fruit growing either. There's a couple berry bushes around, but no apple trees or things like that.
I'll just touch it. Thank you for your help. Now I'll turn to Blackstone and you ready to go?
Sure. I have something new to think about now, I suppose.
Is it something you want to share?
Well, your concern for the trees as living things.
Yeah, I talk to the trees. It was when I was a kid. I would go off and get lost, but I knew I wasn't alone because I was surrounded by trees. I knew in a sense they were protecting me, so in return, I'll protect them.
Interesting. I might have to find different ways to practice things that maybe at the very least are less harmful to the trees.
Thank you.
But I also learned I cannot do that to people or animals, really. So I guess that leaves stones.
Ah, interesting. There might be something that I can do, but let me think it over, and I'll help you.
Okay.
The seeds go into the earth. You can already see the teal magic that is always associated with Toby, as well as the purple from Blackstone, kind of mingling together as those seeds begin to sprout. As you all begin your journey, can I please get whoever is leading the charge on this trek to Illipin, which you don't have much further to go. You have less than a day. Can I please get a survival check, please?
Guidance to whoever.
I just assume it's me.
I'd assume, but listen, I'm not going to actually assume, so that's why.
Oh, is anybody? Sorry, is anybody helping?
Yeah.
I assumed. Okay.
Yep. So you get a guidance as well.
Guidance. Where's my d4s? It is a something with math. 14.
Okay. The walkways, as you head out of the kind of makeshift area you've been able to find, a little bit tricky just because of the fallen rain. It seems like the area around wasn't necessarily prepared for the torrential downpour that's been the last few days of your trek. So a lot of the normal kind of merchant routes, that main road, which is largely a dirt road, has kind of eroded with muck and mud. There's random tree branches that have kind of picked through. So you're having a little bit of difficulty, but you know you're close. And after a few moments, you round a series of trees and find before you the city of Illipin. The landscape still the same but different. The area just in front of the gates now seems to be filled in with water, as you do see that there are ducks every so often kind of swimming about in those kind of trenches, which a few weeks ago had merchants for the harvest festival, the Autumn's Embrace, that you all were able to take part of. The trees are now covered with reds and oranges and yellows, browns. It's very different. You all are probably bundled up a little bit more than usual, as we are definitely settled into fall on this. At this point, it's overcast. The rain has kind of let up a little bit. You can see off to the right, a little bit past Illipin, and its many towers and cathedrals of the many different temples and such. You can see outside the gates there's another outcropping of buildings just to the north of it, which you all know to be Astera. But it's perhaps a welcome sight. Civilization, really, for the first time in weeks. And of course, along this grand town that you all have spent so much time in, there's the river, the Varnoth River, which you know, many of you, helps to bisect Ampistrano and allows for many of the merchants that travel from Jorix to travel here with relative ease, bypassing the mountains and roads. But perhaps also a route from Illipin to Jorix and the mountains too. Where are you all going?
We should go to see if we can get like a boat or something.
I feel like it would be remiss for us to not visit our friends. Perhaps we should see them.
Okay.
Toby, did you want to go visit your family?
Is it a long way to get to my?
No, it's like a couple hours, if that. Remember you were teaching at Lyros as well. So maybe an hour and a half at most. The glade is within sight. You can actually see from where you're at the top of the crest, the many trees that are spread out amongst the hills, and you can see in the distance there's that little outcropping where your farm is, the conservation is, the start of it at least. So it's not far.
I think it would be a little bit hard for me to go back. Just right now.
What do you mean?
Well, a lot has happened. But I guess I should go. Do you want to go with me?
I'll go with you. There's somebody that I want to see in the city, but I can do both.
Would anybody else like to go?
Like to have us along?
Yeah. You can meet my family and the elders.
I'd be happy to meet your family, Toby.
All right. We can go
certainly
for.
thank them for the cheesecake recipe that they taught you.
Oh, you're gonna love it. So we can go first to visit our friends at Elepen,
Mm-hmm. So there's
and then we can go.
Yeah, there's a couple people you can visit in Illipin depending on what you're wanting to do. There are obviously some shops you could stop into. There is Estera, which is just off, where Deidre and Grenowitch, who has been heavily influenced by the stones and what happened in that great battle a few weeks ago to save Sam, is kind of under lock and security as they've changed. You all had set out originally from Illipin looking for a cure, and you all have that in your possession. So that is certainly an option. You can visit with Deidre. You could visit with Sam, who's at Estera right now. You could do some very quick shopping if you want to pick up a couple things, go to the docks to get a boat, or head right to your home, Toby.
How are we on money, y'all?
I spent most of my money on my armor and sword, so I think I have like 7 gold.
I have 66.
Oh, I have 57 gold. And 14 silver.
That's not bad.
I thought I had more gold than that. But
You did give some to Deodora.
Oh, that's why I
yes.
don't have.
Yes.
That's why I don't have.
that's
the
why
7.
you're not broke, as I paid
Yeah.
for
I do remember that because Deodora came running back to you and was like, "Hey,
yeah, I had to count the money and I put part of it in and got my money. Yeah. I remember now.
1,000%."
I got 110 gold, but I might need it to get. Actually, DM.
Yes.
Is there like a shop or something that I can go to get some more stuff for our spirit potions?
Interestingly enough, it is Grenowitch who her shop had a lot of those baubles and ends that you would need.
Toby, do you ask this question?
Yeah, Toby's gonna ask. I might need to get some stuff to brew this potion. Oh, by the way, I brewed this potion. Looks horrible, but it's for our spirits, energies.
Well, Toby, the person who normally runs the potion shop here and other magical items is in Estera right now. and, well, in a pretty rough condition thanks to the activities of the Ouroboros Society. So perhaps once we go to see them, they might be able to point the way to a few things that you can use.
Okay. Sounds like a plan.
Oh, if I remember, we were told we could just take and then write down what we took, so we could be charged later.
All right, let's go.
Okay. So you're heading off
To
for Deidre's shop? Okay.
Grenowitch. You said Deidre's shop to Grenowich's shop.
Grenowitch, thank you. Sorry. Combining too many things in my head. Thank you. You are heading to Grenowich's shop then. So you all descend down the hill, kind of fighting a little bit of a autumn breeze as it's happening. And eventually pass through the gates that you all had left now almost 2 months ago. There's not a lot of people out and about. You all are getting here pretty early in the day. So most people are still either waking up or have already set off either to head to school, to the temples, or heading out into the fields to do some more work. So you're not really having a lot of hustle and bustle. There's not a lot of onslaught of noise, Diodora, so you're not having to use those little headphones to kind of make your way through the area as rain continues to fall. After a few minutes, though, you do see kind of silhouetted against a number of the kind of roofs of homes and storefronts around you, the familiar tree branches of Grenowich's shop, which is a twisted oak in the middle of town. The leaves, interestingly enough, are largely not there. There's a couple that are kind of hanging on that look very blackened and brackish, almost like one kind of touch and they'll disintegrate. But the rest of the tree looks fine. The windows have been kind of boarded up. There's a large window that usually she would slide down to kind of greet customers that didn't have time to come into her shop, just because she's usually one that has a lot of medicinal herbs, things that can combine nature and the archaic together without having to go to those big name stores around town. More of a village healer, essentially. And you all walk in. There doesn't look like it has been looted. You actually see out of your periph, there is kind of walking around the square, there is one of the Crown's guards that's kind of just keeping an eye on things and kind of nods, seeing you all approach, has been warned that, hey, you all might be popping into town at some point and making use of the shop. There's a cascade of dust and leaves across the floor. You can largely see that this shop has not been really touched since your fight with Grenowitch in here to get her back to Astera. For Draven, you're walking into a shop that has these glass kind of boxes all around with various herbs, symbols, items around. It looks to be basically very reminiscent of some of the kind of niche shops that are around Jorix. Everything from crystals to necklaces to things like dagger root and other such herbs that can be used for medicinal purposes or poisons, things like that. And large portions of the shop look fine, but you can see towards the back there's splinters of wood, like a door was broken down. You can see what appears to be scratch and claw marks across some of the floor. Something happened here. And the store owner is nowhere in here.
Y'all have something to do with this?
In some, yes. In not as much of a sum. And you see like a freeze frame of 5 people fighting inside of the store against what looks like a giant gargoyle with deep red glowing eyes.
Cool. Is there any place that y'all go where y'all stay out of trouble?
You make it sound like we go looking for it.
No. You don't have to go looking for trouble to find you. I'm just saying,
Oh.
like, does trouble always find you?
Yes.
Yep.
Actually, not before I got to the city, to be honest. Unless you count Aurea.
That was more of an accent than anything.
Supposed to be fair, I don't know if I've known a time or a place without it, so.
Okay, no problem. I mean, pirates find us, so it's not like I'm entirely new to trouble running into me, but
I suppose we are on a particular side of unusual and strange things, to be fair.
I think the real problem is that there is trouble everywhere.
yeah, but how do they put it? There's levels to this shit.
I don't think there are anymore. The same trouble is everywhere.
I suppose it would be nice if it were. These two, pointing to Aurea and Diodora, really just wanted to come here for snacks and brochures and a very enjoyable festival. And well,
I just was promised a party, and then it was not a fun time for very long.
You know, when I was being a at-home dad sort of thing, trouble didn't seem the same for me, right? Like these world-shaking, life-altering, drastic things were happening, and sure, but either I didn't know about them or they were too big for me to care. And I suppose that's what I mean when there's levels. Like, my troubles were, did my kid get in a fight? And did they win? Because if you're going to get in a fight, you better be able to win it. That sort of thing. And teaching them how to be able to do that. Or how to talk your way out of it if you need to. How to navigate the political system of Jorix. How to go into their universities. That was my troubles. So sure, trouble found me, but I kind of put myself in front of that trouble. This is a whole nother level of trouble. We're talking about shit that can end the world. It's terrifying, is what I'm saying. It makes everything else seem really, really small. And that it keeps running into you all is kind of scary for me.
I think it's not so much that it keeps running into us as that we keep running into it, because when we found the trouble here, we realized that we couldn't just let it go on in other places. So we're kind of chasing it.
Yes, I am too, because I'm still here.
I suppose to be fair to you, much like everyone else, you were just looking for something small like learning nature magic. Which reminds me, you might find a few things of interest at Astera. Do you know about us, Sarah, Captain?
So, do I, GM?
Hang on one second. 'Cause
I mean,
Oh,
didn't
well,
your
if it's-
one of your kids went to Lyros? Wouldn't they know? Timing out.
Yep, hang on. Because OBS just crashed. So I'm waiting.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Okay, we're back.
You should have gone to a college visit with your kids. Campus
Yeah.
tour. You have a
Ampistrano.
pamphlet.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a whole mood. That is fair actually. Because you did. Because I know we've switched around cities a little bit. Did your kid go to college in Illipin or did they go to college in Jorix?
Jorix.
Okay, so then no, they would not be familiar with.
Oh, I thought you said you had a kid that also went to Illipin.
Yes.
A while ago.
One in Illipin, one in Jorix. The one that I'm
Yeah.
looking for
Is in Jorix.
Yeah.
is in Jorix. The one that was in Illipin is already graduated.
So you probably
Okay.
in passing have heard of Sarah, but you're not super familiar with it.
Yeah.
It wasn't the one that your other kid went to. So
Yeah, it's not the one they got the scholarship to, so you didn't care.
didn't get the full ride
try-
or anything like that.
Yeah,
so,
not trying to play that tuition.
No, honestly, you heard more about the Jester's Lament, which is a bar right near Lyros that is also a massive fight club. You heard more about that than you heard about any other schools in the area. So
You heard more about the fight club than you heard about the school.
yeah,
Because out here getting lit
yep.
in a fight club, and I'm just like la 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 la.
Heard more about the really cool bar that's a block or two away and stuff. Less about other possibly schools in competition and things like that. So.
Cool.
Okay.
That clarifies the answer to that.
Wonderful. So what are you getting or looking for in the shop, Toby?
Anything that could help me to make more potions.
Okay. So you made one of these potions. You have how much more of the spider silk do you have?
None.
Okay. That's going to be definitely an item that unfortunately you will not be able to procure from Grenowich's shop. But perhaps you will run into more of them along your travels, or perhaps you can send word to Vibrant about seeing if maybe they can send some once things have calmed down on their way.
Okay.
That is a
Yeah.
possibility of what you could do, because that is one of the main ingredients needed for this. Yes, fair.
Question: would we be able to get some from like Toby's family, because it's a conservation, it's part of the forest?
Yep.
They might have access to some.
It's very possible. They might have some creatures that are doing that, the spirit walkers basically, or the bone weavers is what they were called. Yes, you could easily check and see. If not, see if they can get some in the area. Yes, April.
Is spider silk a specifically made thing, or could I just like fly up to some ceilings and collect some spider webs?
So it was a very specific silk. It was the silk
Okay, I was
from
like,
the
I'm gonna
bone
fly
weaver.
up on every.
Yeah,
building.
remember
Every spider web.
we had a whole episode dedicated to getting this. If it was just about going into the corners and getting some fucking spider webs, I would have been so pissed.
Yeah, I knew that. No, it's specific to the bone weaver, which is they're spiders that are literally, they look like walking skeletons just in the way that they are. They're known for kind of being in graveyards and such, so they have some kind of spiritual energy that allows for others to then imbue their energy into that, thus making these potions and a whole other, like Vegan went over it and Weldor kind of talked about it in a little bit of a greater detail, but it's specifically that, because that's how you met Weldor. He was out looking for that thread as well, and then got caught with some basilisks.
That was
Okay.
2 days
So-
ago. I don't remember that far.
No, that's why I'm like, let me just rehash, because it's been literally months. We're talking
Can you
October
imagine-
of last year.
We
So-
did a whole episode of getting this fucking this silk, and Jordan's like, "Oh yeah, there's just a spider in the corner. You just fuck up its web."
I know if I ever did that, Fair would, and has my
I would
address,
appear
absolutely
in
know
your
it.
house.
Yeah.
I would disappear from stream and appear right behind you,
Yep.
like the fucking bitch from The Ring.
Yep.
Just-
So no, you all went on a whole journey for that. But
Okay.
it is possible that bone weavers, as was also mentioned, they're found all over Ampistrano. So the likelihood of running into them again is pretty likely. So.
All right. So I'll get like herbs and shit
Okay.
for the alchemist stuff.
Are there any healing potions in the shop?
There are.
Okay.
There are 5 regular, and there are 4 greater healing.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's one more of, I forget the level that goes above greater.
Superior.
Superior, thank you.
Superior.
Superior. Yes, there's one of those.
How much do all those cost?
All of those together would
Sure.
be 300 gold.
There it goes.
I heard 3 gold. I put 3 gold on the counter.
30
As
gold?
the Crown's Guard outside is just dragging their sword across the ground.
Yeah. He's gonna dull that sword, my guy.
Yep.
How much does just the superior cost?
The superior alone costs 75.
And then I'm sorry, how many greater ones were there again?
There were. Sorry, I have too many numbers up on my page, so I'm trying to go back through.
Also, if you could maybe put this in Zoom chat, because it's like not staying in my head.
Sure.
Not sticking.
Here, I will
It's
put
not
it down in
sticking.
chat.
Thank you.
One
That's why I keep asking, like,
superior,
okay, how many are there again?
5
And how much does
greater.
that cost?
4 regular. Or no, I'm not a math guy.
5
Fine.
regular, 4 greater, 1 superior.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
There you
Okay.
You need
So
to
the
get paid
superior-
now.
Is 75 gold. And then the greater each is...
go. So greater each. Y'all making me do math, and I can't do it.
You won't...
Everything in the store is $5. $5
Yeah.
for everything.
It's a dollar store.
No.
Yeah, it's a dollar store.
I got you for $1.
It's a- It's a 1 gold piece store.
It's a dollar
That's
store. How
not
good
correct
can
math,
it
but
be?
it's fine. You can just do individually for the 5 greater. It's 10. I'm trying to make it all work into the 300 that I gave you initially. It's not correct actually, but it's fine.
It's 300.
Yeah, it's fine.
We don't have that kind of money.
No, but do remember, Robo, they said last time you all were here, as long as you wrote down and you do see that there's a bit of parchment at the front kind of desk counter, as long as you wrote it down, you'll be charged later. Greenwich is in there.
Oh.
No
I'm
position,
just gonna-
We got
so it's on
stuff.
Yeah.
credit.
I'm just gonna put these potions in my bag and then have somebody who can write down the amount.
There you go.
All right.
Yeah. So basically,
I
it's all your
will
credit.
guide Diodora through writing down the amount. So this is the letter you're going to use for this sound.
Oria's just looking like... Oria just like quickly writes it down.
Are
Like,
there
it's gonna
any
take
other
forever.
potions and things you might be on the lookout for?
Oh shit.
Got
Are
any
there
haste
diamonds
potions
here?
lying-
I was gonna ask the same thing, April. You got
Got any haste potions lying around?
There are actually.
you got
I knew
some
were
of
going
that.
to
You got
ask.
some of them haste potions.
Yeah.
You got that. You got that. I need to go fast. I need to go real fast.
Yep.
I need that. I need that.
There
Everything's so
are-
slow right now.
There are 3 potions of haste. Let me pull up.
Okay.
$5.
I gotta have it.
No, they are not $5, you motherfuckers.
$5. $5 go fast.
Nah, haste potions. Those would
No.
be expensive.
Yep.
And $10.
No.
$30.
Fine.
Absolutely.
15 final offer.
No.
29 or 2 for 50.
No, Missy. Yeah, potions of haste are pretty expensive. There are 2 available.
Oh,
Said
I think
3.
you just said
3.
3.
3.
I don't think we can
There's
afford
too
them
many
anyway.
fucking numbers in my head. I can't do it.
We're gonna get charged later, and also we just never have to come back to this city.
Yeah, we just don't come back.
So, hey,
I
Jordan.
Don't want to
Take
come
3
back
of
here
them.
anyway.
We're gonna have bill collectors sending messages to
Yeah,
us
now I'm
like,
just adding them to my
Okay,
inventory.
they're
Case.
400
Hello?
each. They're 400.
can I speak
How
to
much?
Oria?
400 each.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
What the fuck?
We taking
It's
off
a haste
400?
potion.
It's
Y'all
a fucking
tripping. Y'all
pen,
thought it's gonna be cheap.
How is
it's
that
cheap
more
in It's cheap in Baldur's Gate. You better make
This
it cheap.
ain't
Kind of
Baldur's
flying
Gate.
around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're
Oh, wait,
normally
that reminded me.
750, but in Ampistrano I have them marked as 400. Damn.
What if I offer you this?
Which is
What is it?
Does this get me a discount?
Slacks
Like-
Asterian picture.
What if I slide this across the counter?
Make a persuasion roll, motherfucker.
Yeah.
No, don't give her
Yes.
this much power,
Yes.
Jordan. This
Give
is a
me the
mistake.
power.
It's my
Give her the
birthday tomorrow.
power.
Let me have fun.
I rolled a 13 for a 12.
Okay, no.
Fucking
Okay.
inflation.
I
Man.
have an 8 charisma in this game, guys.
Yeah,
I am
no.
not. No one likes me.
Nope, it's still 400.
Okay.
What can the rest of us try this? Like, what the fuck?
I knew that was
Everyone
coming.
slide in
You said-
spicy
It
Astarian.
was
You
coming.
okay, it has to be spicy.
It's gotta be spicy
Okay.
It does
first.
not have to be
Oh my
any of that
God.
anyways. Dimples,
While
what
they're
is
doing
Draven
that-
doing?
Draven stepping out of here because he don't trust that this is actually on the up and up.
Valid.
So I don't want to be seen with these people who are robbing this store.
Understood. Toby, I'm sorry, what were you wanting?
Diamonds.
Oh, diamonds.
Diamonds are
Yes.
forever.
There are a number of diamonds, and let me ask just to make sure, because I know we use a lot of different crystals in Ampistrano. Are you looking specifically for diamonds, or are you looking for emeralds and other crystals, things like that?
Diamonds.
Okay.
300
Yes,
gold.
there are 3 diamonds. One of them looks like they have a $50 or 50 gold value. One is a 100, and the other is a 500.
It seems that you are looking for items in the store that it might be easier to procure at the school where they do all of the research on magical things and have all the books and other associated material, so that they might be willing to just lend us for our purposes, possibly for free. Have we considered asking them?
I mean, we can try. I'll take the 500 diamond.
I should get advantage on that roll.
You should.
Go ahead and roll.
Holy shit.
What did you say, Jordan? You're not talking loud enough.
I said go ahead and roll.
With advantage?
Nope, just roll.
But that
What am
one
I
has so
rolling?
much extra. That one deserves advantage.
You could use one of those inspirations you got today.
Oh, 100% I will. Okay. Persuasion?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Good, Jordan? You okay?
Dirty 20.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Everything that's happening in this game is dirty at this point.
And the thing was, it didn't used to be like that. Like, this has gotten so dirty. the last
We're
month.
exploiting it. We're exploiting a weakness.
I know.
Look, we have to keep ramping it up.
I was like,
Next
I'm
month, you don't
gonna-
want to know what's going to be in this chat.
I'm in a game with all these ace people. There's no way. And wow. Wow.
Yeah, honest,
people can
okay,
be corny.
here's the thing. Here's the thing.
This is
Here's the
the-
thing. It's like
dirtiest one.
all of us. It's only Jordan who's the horny one.
Lordy me. Anyways,
He's the horny ace.
you can take 10 gold off. That's all I'm giving you.
10?
Yep.
That's worth more than 10.
Mm-mm.
That
Mm-mm.
I'll start describing
Y'all-
that picture
y'all
out
are
loud.
gonna-
That picture
No.
deserves that has a happy ending in it. Like that deserves at least.
Oh my
deserves great-
God.
Oh, it's fine, April. No. No. Anyways. Because
Okay,
the thing is, I totally would, but I just know you motherfuckers are going to take full advantage of that and abuse that. So that's why I'm being so strict about
Jordan,
it.
we're gonna abuse it for 10 gold every time. Like
Still, you can take 10 gold off. That's it.
Okay. Hold on.
is it
Uh,
per picture?
I'll
No.
take the
Oh my
500
God.
gold.
What was that?
Can I get?
Rebel?
Can we get 20? Can we get 20? Oh, I didn't send properly.
I'll take
that
the.
was
Oh my
cute.
god.
That one was cute. know.
Yeah, that one's cute.
Aww. Yeah,
I
that's
don't
cute.
know what Fair tried to send.
Yeah, I don't know. Zoom said absolutely not to what you're trying to send.
No, it's because it's a
Potential.
web page. I didn't see it.
Oh.
That it didn't save properly on my desktop. So,
Robo,
one
what were you
second.
trying to do?
I'll take the 500 gold diamond.
Okay, cool. All right, so you have a diamond in your possession as well.
Yeah, let's go to visit Grenowitch, I think.
I don't take any of the haste potions.
Okay.
20 gold off.
No.
But that one also looks like it's about to end happy.
As you all leave Grenowitch, you all head out, and I'm assuming. So, where are you heading next? Are you heading to Astera, or are you heading to Toby's home?
Whichever one's closest. And then we
Both very
go
close.
to...
Astera.
I'm
I would like to go to Astera.
Okay.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't want to go to Astera. I want to do what I want to do.
That's valid. Okay, so we
We
will...
can split up in town.
Yeah, I was gonna say we could.
Yeah, we
split
can
the
split
party,
up.
and that's totally fine. Okay, all right. So we will then split the party. And I think now is an excellent time to take a break. As we-
Hey.
Jordan needs to take a fan off break. Cool off a little bit.
We're gonna take a 10-minute break, and we will be back in just a few minutes. A special reminder, y'all, we are raising money for Palestine's Children's Relief Fund. So if you enter an !PCRF, we are working towards that initiative. Also, Gremlynnart is doing a Care for Gaza one-shot tonight. So that's at 8 p.m. I forgot to post that at the start, but that's gonna be awesome to watch. But get up, stretch, move around, and we will see you all shortly.
Pick up your gear and open your chests. Throw on your armor and head out on a quest. Hey, hey. It's a brand new day. On the slow coast, your allies will help with blades and bows and magic as well. Hey, hey. Heroes on their way. Fighting together against overwhelming odds. Fighting together in favor of multiple gods. Idle champions of the forgotten realms. Idle champions, adventure never ends. Idle champions, DNDJordanLea. Idle champions, you will say it again. Idle champions.
Show them thighs.
Show them dice.
Welcome back. What are you doing, Tipple?
Running away from
Wait.
Going for a jog.
Oh,
A
boy.
Richard Simmons impression, I think.
Probably.
Wow.
I could up with that man. That man's an icon.
Who even knows who that is out here in this Gen Z world?
I do.
Nobody's Gen Z.
You're not Gen Z.
Oh, okay. And then Pauly Shore played him in a short biopic.
I just
Who
saw
even
it.
knows who Pauly Shore is?
Who's Pauly Shore?
I know who Pauly Shore is.
I want to watch
Purple Sticky
Son-in-Law
Punch.
now. I want to watch Son-in-Law now.
Oh my
I
god.
want to watch Biodome.
Okay.
Biodome and Encino Man.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, you need to watch Encino
See?
Man. If you like Brendan Fraser, you watch Encino Man.
So thank you so much for. I hope you all were able to step away and get a drink, hydrate, all
Hi,
that.
chat.
What? Anyways.
Good hype.
Is it hot chat?
I'm saying hi to chat.
Oh,
Jeez.
Chat.
I didn't hear you. I was asking.
Wow. I'm not saying anything.
Not the. Anyways, welcome on in, y'all. We are coming back into the story. Our group of adventurers have finally made it into Illipin, civilization for the first time in about 2 months. They have gone and ransacked Grenowitch's shop, picking up some items and things that they will perhaps maybe pay back later, possibly. And they have begun heading towards so the group is splitting up, correct? So we have a small portion that wants to go and do a thing. I know Diodora, you mentioned something. We have some that want to head to Astera, and then we have some that I think all of you mentioned wanting to go to Toby's place, correct? Sorry, I just looked over
I gotta
and
go tell
forgot
my
what was
dog
in
to shut
Zoom
the
chat,
fuck
and I
up.
didn't hear you, Fair, but I saw you talking. Well, okay. Anyways, so we will then split up the group, and let's go with Sin Blackstone. You are heading towards Astera, correct?
I am.
Okay. All right. You head back outside Illipin, moving from that entrance that you used to make your way into the city, and instead heading along the northeast corridor to the gates there. You head down a mud-filled road, but eventually see an outcropping of trees, kind of surrounding a number of different buildings, all made of stone. There's a large tower that kind of seems to break up the... Sorry, words are really hard for me right now. Y'all, sorry. Break up the kind of area around the environment. This large tower. It's early morning. You can see a couple of students are starting to either get ready for classes or go to get their breakfast, things like that, but it's largely a pretty quiet day. Where are you heading?
When I'm heading, the first place I would head is to like the kind of outer courtyard where DNDJordanLea teaches her classes.
Sure. And you do see her there. She is currently sitting at a bench that she has that's made of stonework. There seems to be an umbrella that's kind of keeping her largely dry from still the kind of smatterings of rain that is falling at this moment. You can see every so often she's drinking some tea and looking out at the lake before her where you can see several ducks. To describe her to everyone, because I know it's been a minute, Deidre is an earth genasi. She has amethyst hair growing in shards down her back, with forest green skin with patches of brown, almost like stones coming out of her. She wears half-moon spectacles. Her amethyst hair, which normally she keeps down, you can actually see at this moment, is kind of almost looks like it's braided. Looking honestly very reminiscent of what you see when you're going past like the brick kind of gates and walls or homes. There's a specific design and method to it that you can see kind of wrapping her hair around. She's got her spectacles up as well as she's kind of reading through some parchments and letters, ink and quill always within an arm's reach, as she's just taking in the morning.
Would you mind a visitor at this moment?
And you kind of see like her body stiffen for a moment, and kind of she moves her head around, kind of looking for the side. So I'm guessing you're back in town.
Oh, well, even better, if you wouldn't mind turning around just a bit.
You know, it's very rude to interrupt a lady when she's drinking tea in the morning.
Well, that's why I asked if I could interrupt her.
You can see she does turn to you. and you see properly now. There's a bit of darkness under her eyes, a little bit of shadow. Doesn't look like she's gotten much sleep. There's definitely some new worry lines and stress lines that have kind of gathered. Her amethyst eyes looking a bit more tired, not as vibrant as they usually are, as she's kind of taking you in, and you can just see her shoulders kind of rising up and then just slowly, like an exhaled breath as she relaxes. Glad you're okay.
I suppose the days have been long, perhaps for the both of us.
Yeah. Busy. But yeah.
I have many questions to ask, but I have not necessarily come here to ask you a question.
Somehow that doesn't surprise me too much. At this point, she's gotten up and she's walking towards you, and the umbrella is actually walking with her. You can kind of see has little legs and what appears to be a little, looks almost like a figure of sticks. Is just kind of holding it and walking with her. Doesn't surprise me.
I suppose then that means you know at least some of the things that I would be here for.
Hopefully a cure for Grenowitch, but if not, answers maybe.
Well, I suppose for now, I guess let's start with Grenowitch. How is she?
Not well. We're having a difficult time of keeping that connection that we had just before you all left. She's fading by the day.
I suppose let's see if we can go and do something about that today.
That would be good. Hopefully good. And you see there's a hesitancy. She really is, you know her to be someone that is all about facts and figures. And she seems to really be struggling with getting any kind of hope up.
I suppose I have a lot to talk to you about. Is it safe to speak outdoors these days?
I would still tread cautiously, but at least in the confines of this courtyard. All the usual securities that are normally afforded at my office are also here.
I have learned much about myself in my time away, and I have seen the city of my making, let's say.
I sense that does not bring you joy.
It has brought me many questions. It has not brought me any answers. And perhaps some perspective. But I suppose most importantly, it brought me good news for you.
It's always at a cost, isn't it?
Well, from what I have learned, even my being here also came at one to a great many people.
You kind of see your eyes narrow. She's taking you. Are you wearing your mask or no?
Typically, when I'm in the courtyard with her where she's working, I don't have one. Astero was one of the very few places that I was ever able to be without having to wear one.
Sure. She Kind of looks you over. Eyes keep going back to yours. Well, where do we begin?
I suppose. I don't know if this comes with instructions, but I think being where Grenowitch happens to be might be best.
Sure. We can
I
head
think
down there.
Deidre would also notice the change in color because Blackstone, like as far as she has known, Blackstone's colorations for most things have been a cobalt blue. So for them to be like this kind of lava-esque set of colors would definitely be something I think she would notice.
She's definitely noted it, but seems to be kind of waiting for you to tell that story and have that moment. She's never been one to really pry, at least so openly. She'll pry you with looks, every now and then with a question that may or may not seem very specific or not on the surface, but almost always seems to have both a little knife to get you to open up, but also a bandage at the ready.
Along the way, most of the questions are things like, so along the way we have learned that I may have a need for some materials. It seems that we are coming into our own with learning to do different things, and some people have picked up crafting, alchemy, those types of things. I feel like perhaps there could be some materials to acquire, and we've also seen strange dreams, visions, experienced odd forms of magic. I don't know if we have any information about that in the library, but if we do, that would be helpful to possibly read up about.
Well, dreams also. Sorry about that, y'all. OBS and Zoom both quit on me for a hot second, so we should be back though. After we're ready. So, Sin and Blackstone, what were you saying to? There was a whole conversation about messages and dreams and research, and Deidre, after a moment, pauses and then says, well, oftentimes dreams are a way for messages to be passed, but also for those lines between different planes of existence to get a little bit gray. So there may not be a lot of research to it, and it may be something that is unique to person.
Fair. So, how is Sam?
And as you ask that, we're going to pan the camera elsewhere to Theodora. You are heading out from Grenowitch's shop, correct? Oh, I cannot hear you.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Aurea, I'm assuming you're going with.
Sure. If Theodora wants me to.
Yeah. I mean,
Or you're
Deidre's
just
never
gonna go
going
to
to
the
say.
bar and drink while everybody else did their stuff.
I
Aurea
mean,
is cranky to be back. She does not want to be back in the city.
That's valid.
Oh, Deidre absolutely also does not want to be back. Deidre, but she wouldn't say no to Aurea's company, but if Aurea wanted to just go do her own thing, it would be understood.
She's just like walking, not behind you, but kind of just slightly to the side, just kicking rocks down the road.
Draven
just
goes
petulant.
as well
Okay.
because Draven doesn't know Aurea really.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Draven's like, ooh, another kid to adopt.
This child
don't know
looks like
if
they need help.
Draven feels that way about a fairy because he doesn't know fairies. So
Oh,
it's a
'Cause
little
I got
more of a
wings,
weird
I can't be your
situation.
child.
Oh,
Ooh,
oh.
You're a fey creature and he doesn't know fey creatures. That
I get that.
is beyond his understanding. So he's like, maybe child, maybe chaos being that I don't understand. And maybe I'll
Porque
learn
no
something
los
new about the
dos.
world.
Yep.
Porque no los dos?
Yeah, I know. But Draven splits with Cribble as Cribble stays with Kobe.
Ooh.
All right. And Theodora, what are you looking for, or who?
Oh, no, let me go back to my notes. Oh my God. Sorry, one
Not
second.
the
I got distracted
screenshot.
by-
Goddamn.
You just hear
you
that?
just noticed that.
I was so focused on everything else.
So I want to go meet up with Gregory.
Okay.
If he's still in town,
Yes.
to just let him know about what we found out in the Unitel about just like the shipments being sent to Jorix and to Allegris.
Yes.
And like what's going on and all that stuff.
Okay.
That's all.
Sure. Easy enough to do, because actually you run into him. Along the roads, you actually can hear the sound of hoof prints kind of slowly walking, and it isn't long to see kind of coming through the cold and rain, a cloaked figure, but even so you can still see the familiar persona that is Gregory, the half-orc, who is riding atop a black, seems to be a mare, that has its hair kind of braided nicely, and you can kind of see he's like hunkered down, and even on his horse he is just writing. You know, he likes to either take notes, or the last time you saw him was when he was writing a little bit of poetry, to perhaps you, perhaps someone else. But he seems very much engrossed in that moment. But you can approach
Again, even though I told him to pay attention to his fucking surroundings.
always.
And, like, how many times do I have to tell you this, my guy? I trained you better, and I know I trained you better.
Do you say that?
I think Theodora goes up to, you said he's on a horse, right?
Yep.
Theodora will go and stand next to the horse and just like kind of do that thing where like, you know, like you stand there and you wait to see how long it takes for someone to fucking notice you.
Yep.
And when they don't notice you after like before 5 minutes, you're like, she's like, so you're still not paying attention to your surroundings, I see.
Oh, fuck me. And you see he like quickly grabs the book because he almost drops it. Had not noticed your presence, actually rolled to see if he picked up on you, and he did not. He rolled a natural 1.
Yeah. Which is wild, because I have the clankiest not trying to sneak in the first place, have the clankiest armor.
Nope, he was so engrossed in whatever he was doing that he did not hear. Like I said, I rolled a natural 1. So he like quickly...
I feel like that happened last time, too.
It literally did. That's why I'm laughing. He quickly like grabs his little brown book that he has, and kind of shuts it, and then turns his brown eyes in your direction. Well, aren't you a ghost appearing from the mist?
I think if I were a ghost, I'd find a better place to haunt.
Yeah, not really. Surprised you usually have better taste about things. Is that new armor?
Oh, yes. I guess I show off a little bit. In front of my dad.
Interesting. It looks interesting. I don't think I've seen anything like that before.
It's hard to describe. Because I don't, like, I would get the sense, I feel like, that he doesn't know about, like, the shift weave and stuff.
Yeah. Not really.
It would be hard to explain. A lot has happened, even though it's been, like, 2 weeks.
Yeah. It's been a lot. Cool. I was actually getting ready to leave Philippine to go elsewhere. So, Did you need something? The soldiers got to Vibrant, by the way. I had them rush. You said it was an emergency, and they got there as quickly as they could. I think they didn't sleep for 2 days. They moved pretty quickly. I hope that was okay.
No, I did hear that they got there. Thank you so much. It was devastated.
That's what some of the reports came back. There have been a lot of sign of you, so I was kind of worried all of you got swept up into whatever that was. But we all have to do our part to make sure that even the towns that are a little bit harder to get to are backed up.
Yeah. Do you have time for a drink?
Sure. He looked like he was really about to say no, and then, sure. Yeah, I can get a drink.
Okay, I think we'll go to the Jester's Lament. I think that's the name that I gave it.
You did.
Because it was something else, and I just kept calling it. I don't even remember what it was originally
called.
Doesn't
matter. The name you came up with was the best, so that is what it's now called.
Yeah, so we'll just go there and get a drink. No Fight Club this time.
Nope.
I don't know about Draven's past experience hearing about this bar, so I just walk in there. It's a good place with good cheap drinks.
Yep.
Watered down a little bit, but
Draven's looking around like, I don't know what kind of fight club this is, because at one of the fight clubs I used to be in, people would just run up and then it's a challenge and it's on and popping. And then other ones, it was more like scheduled duels. So he's like on edge, like, guys.
It looks like the most normal ass fucking bar you've ever walked into, because the Fight Club is not in the front.
Yeah, it's hidden.
It's in the back.
Yeah. I was gonna ask, do you all stay in the main entrance area, or are you going into the secret part?
How crowded is the main entrance area?
It's still early, so like you either have the people that are still here from the night before, or the people that are kind of, because this place is also kind of like a little bit of a cafe, so you can kind of see some people are getting like breakfast here before setting out. So it's not very crowded.
Okay. I think like Theodore wants to find a place that's quiet, but not like, I guess you would stay in the front if it's not that crowded, just because you can watch where other people are around you, and she doesn't want to, like, she wants to make sure that, like, there aren't people who are, like, listening in or, like, standing too close and whatnot.
Sure.
So,
yeah. Upon your entrance in, you see that Gregory actually kind of nods to the bartender, who actually ushers you back instead of into that main area. There's a set of stairs that go up in this main cafe, and you are able to get basically a private room to kind of be in.
Okay. Yeah, he was like kind of staying here before, wasn't he?
He got snuck in. Just in the secret part.
Same difference.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, and I guess we'll order some ale. I'll introduce him to Draven.
Okay. Hi.
Hello.
Theodore gives Draven a look like, why are you being a weirdo?
I'm not being weird. I just don't know this person.
Right. I'm.
And they also seemed very, very, to use it, excuse my phrasing, but slow on the uptake, because we were standing there for quite a while before you even noticed that we were in your presence. And that's the kind of thing that'll get you killed in places I've been.
I've told him this before.
And you can kind of see his ears are turning bright red. And he keeps looking down. It's a tough lesson to learn. I was writing down some quick notes of things.
Oh no, the tough lesson has not been learned, clearly, because
really, and he looks at you for a moment, Theodore. Feeling like I'm talking to my grandpa here, not gonna lie.
Oh, yeah. And Theodore kind of thinks it's like, oh, maybe that's why I like Draven. Interesting.
Uh,
Never thought about that. Well, yeah, I mean, captain of a ship, same vibes.
Oh, okay. You kind of see understanding slowly kind of sinking in. It's just been a little bit busy since you all left, and at that point you can kind of see as he's pulled back his hood, you can see he is also looking very tired. Has not been sleeping much. His hair, which is usually very well kept and such, is a mess kind of thing. As it seemed like he was getting ready to just take off. After a moment, he kind of turns to you, Tyborn, and goes, "Apologies. I'm Gregory Tyneal, of the Tyneal family, the commander's grandson, and Allegris."
Draven reaches out a hand for a handshake.
Yep.
Gives a nice squeeze to it.
Oh, okay.
Oh my god. Dad mode activated.
Chugs down the beer and then goes, so I don't see any war going on. What's keeping you awake at night?
It's been a bit of a mess since Theodora and the rest of the group have kind of left. It was a little bit of a mess when they left. We've had a crystal that was underneath the city and a group that was trying to target the students of Lyros. We've had a number of things happening at the festival that we had to do cleanup for. Then we had to rush order some soldiers and aid to Vibran because Vibran was attacked. Just things are getting a little bit wild out there. And my grandfather has been largely very busy, so I've been having to pick up a lot of the mess. So it's been a lot of sleepless nights, and then just having a lot of people looking towards me, and it can be a lot of pressure. I haven't had
I understand that.
Haven't had a night off since since we sparred here at the fight club. So I'm not complaining, but it's been tiring. So my brain's struggling right now, trying to be in 6 places at once.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, we haven't gotten much good rest either.
It doesn't.
The plot that we found here has spread to other parts of the world, or the continent, rather.
So I've been hearing.
I'll give him not overly detailed, but just like a rundown of the things that we experienced after leaving Illipin,
Sure.
the major events, not anything small.
No.
Just to kind of give him an idea of what's going on, and also why we needed soldiers at Vibran to begin with, because I don't think I really, in the message is only 25 words, so I had to be brief about it.
Yep.
And then just things about the Unitel. I won't tell him anything about Felk.
Okay.
Because that's a secret.
Yes.
And
Barkeep, another round.
Yep.
I love y'all.
Come around with more shady ale for all of you to have. Yep.
Yeah, and I don't know if I think Theodora will leave out the part where she died.
Okay. He listens with an enraptured look. You can see very much has that very soldier just taking in information, taking in as much as possible, but you can see behind his eyes, that's where at points he looks very concerned, hearing about things that were happening and such. And he kind of pauses and starts drumming his fingers across the table. Well, definitely add that to the list. Grandfather is researching. There's been some disappearances in Jorix. So if the disappearances are sounding very similar to what was happening in Vibran.
Yeah, we're actually heading to Jorix now. We just stopped here on the way. Many disappearances, some of people of highborn standing.
Yes.
And I'll give specifically when I talk about the Unitel, I do tell them about like all the information we found about like the shipments going to Jorix, and I think a couple went to Allegris,
Yes.
if I recall correctly. And just like how like all the shipments to Jorix, I think it was marked as like completed, like there were no more shipments going, like everything that got sent to Jorix was finished.
Got it.
So, and then just like tell them that like, you know, the people who were hiding in the Unitel were underground, and same with here in Illipin, they were under the ground. And we know that there are like a lot of tunnels and like catacombs under Jorix.
Yeah.
So that's probably where they are.
Sure. And he listens enraptured. Yes, it's progressed to noble families, but most alarmingly so. And my grandfather's had words with council in Jorix. These are not isolated incidents, as lower-born or lower stationed have also been going missing at a more rampant number. Unfortunately.
Because no one would notice.
Exactly.
Which says a lot, but I think that's maybe something we'll have to fix in the future because of the problems that are happening now.
From what my grandfather's been able to pinpoint, and they've been trying to set up watches, it's been coming from the graveyard district of Jorix. It's where most of the people have been going and missing. They've been seeing lights shining in the sky at night, and then every so often there's been rumors of orbs moving around in the graveyards.
Colors on these orbs?
They range, moving from blues and purples to reds and oranges. And the northern lights have been what have been appearing in the sky, as well as there's been more rainbows. So, again, not really sure, but we're trying to take note of absolutely everything, and that's what my grandfather's been able to tell me. So,
yeah. Well, that's good to know. Like I said, we're heading to Jorix because of what we found out. So if you know of any contacts we should be seeking when we get there, that would be appreciated. Otherwise, we'll just do what we've done so far and just fly by the seat of our pants. And I mean, we'll run into the danger sooner rather than later.
I have a couple contacts that can make contact with you. From the sounds of it, it may be that you all are being watched, so I'll have them make contact when they can assure that there's safety, because it could compromise them.
Right. Yes, we are being watched. That is true. So yes, if they are willing to help, have them seek me out.
Yeah, can definitely do that. But I'm assuming you're wanting to get to the Jorix pretty quickly from the sounds of it.
Yes, for a number of reasons.
Okay. Well,
I kind of like looked at Draven when I say that because I know, fucking kid.
Okay.
Draven doesn't say anything.
I know Draven doesn't, but like that's just what when Deodora says for several reasons, like that is what she's thinking about.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I do have a contact at the docks that does owe me a favor. So that could potentially get you not free passage, but quicker passage, along with a little bit of stealth with that. There's a, and you kind of give a wry kind of smile. Riley is at the docks in Illipin, along the river, and she can get you where you need to go pretty quickly and quietly. She's all about discretion. She owes me a favor. Consider this that she will probably charge you, but just say that I sent you, and at least she'll give you a massive discount. So that should hopefully help. I'm afraid there's
Great.
not much else I can do.
No, and I mean that's enough. That's well, that was going to be our next stop. So thank you.
Yeah, time is of the essence. I don't want you to have to waste it. But Riley is good. She could get you there. Normally it takes anywhere from a week to 2 weeks, depending upon weather, to get to Jordan. She could probably get you there in under 5 days. So,
Awesome. And is there anything that you need from me?
just keep me as informed as you can. I'm trying. Luckily, my grandfather is listening to everything that is happening and is just as pissed off. And you can kind of see and hear he's cracking his knuckles. Just seemingly there's frustration. Is just as frustrated with everything that's happening and the lack of movement and communication. So anything will help.
Okay. Yeah. When I know something more about what's going on, I will send word to you and your grandfather.
Sure. And you see him reach into his pocket and he pulls out what appears to be a small rock. And on it you can see that there is the tiny old crest. I will give you this then, just because other magical means might be watched. This will link you directly to either myself or my grandfather. Obviously don't lose this.
No.
But more direct line. It's a sending stone.
Yeah. Yeah, she'll tuck it away in like a secure pouch to make sure that, she doesn't misplace it immediately like I would do. And then look to Oria and Draven kind of questioning am I missing anything, because it's been a lot. So, but I think Theodore's gotten it all.
Okay.
So, send word when you get to Allegris.
Yeah.
The roads are even more dangerous than they were before.
For sure. That's why I intend on moving quickly. So, but safe travels to you and your group. We'll get through it one way or another.
I think as I assume that we all stand up to leave, and Theodore will give Gregory a hug.
And he'll give you a big hug back. And then after
He's still blushing?
Just
kidding.
he's majorly blushing. Especially because you kind of feel it more than see it, his head kind of moving and just staring over at Draven. And then he just quickly let's go.
I'll be honest with you. Draven gives him a look, not actually even thinking about it.
Yep.
Just that protective look.
Yep.
I don't know this motherfucker all like that.
Yep. He's very just
Who you think you hugging on? Let me watch where them hands are moving to.
Exactly. Just kind of backs up. Pleasure to meet you, Captain.
Uh-huh.
Yep, okay. Just kind of will step outside and get on his horse and head off into the rain, leaving you all behind.
And I mean, we have a name now, so we can head down to the docks.
Yep.
I'll let Draven do that talking though.
Yeah.
Doc, lock it, drop it.
Toby, are you waiting on the others to then head to your place, or what are you doing at this time?
I was with them the whole time.
Oh, you were with them the whole time. Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure. Okay.
Incredible, because
Toby and Oria in the corner playing rock, paper, scissors.
Yep.
Not saying anything.
Yeah, probably.
Being
Yeah.
real quiet.
I think
while the
it's
adults are talking.
Toby, Oria, and Cribble.
Yeah.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Okay.
Oh, I like this game.
It is fun, though.
Just don't hit me with a rock.
I'm assuming then all of you are then heading to the docks then? Or are you going to wait up for Blackstone?
Wait for Blackstone, though.
Okay.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah, we're close to where he is anyway.
Yeah,
Mhm.
you're not far.
They can make it to us before we go there.
1000%. Then we will hand the camera back to Blackstone, as you've just asked about what Sam has been up to. And at that moment, you kind of see slowly walking across the grasses and such, a small halfling with long brown hair that's tied into a braid on the side. Looking to be in their late teens, early 20s. They're currently wearing black pants, black boots, and a dark blue, almost like an azure blue, that has like a couple pockets and belts along it for components and things. Isn't wearing his like robes or cloak like he used to wear really when he was with all of you. And instead you see at his sides what appears to be two short swords that he now carries along with that amethyst band on his wrist slash hand. And you can see he looks a little beaten up. He's got some bruising, looks like almost like punch marks along his cheeks. There's a couple new cuts and such along his face. Not scars, but he seems to have gotten into a scrap recently as he makes his way over to Deidre with what appears to be some kind of morning report.
Oh, so you're back too now.
Oh, after a manner, I suppose. Also, were you having a bit of extra fun and or practice?
The latter. Practice.
I see. What are we practicing for these days?
Well, fighting, I guess. I've been taking Oria's lessons to heart. I'm not really good at it yet, but I've been working really hard. I've already won,
And he looks at Deidre.
I've already won like 3 fights at the fight club. So, you know, I'm not like the reigning champ or anything, but I'm getting better. It's just taking time.
Well, time is something that you have, and I'm certain that that will prove useful. Also, I am sure that everyone will be very happy to hear that they have inspired you to continue in your martial arts studies.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of that.
And you see Deidre after a moment kind of gives a look to Sam. Yeah, we've been having some conversations about it. Sam seems to be a bit hesitant to use his magic since, well, the event happened. He's transferred here, so we can give him a bit better support than Lyros was able to. But he seems to be a little bit hesitant, and we're working on it. And you kind of just see Sam is like, as Deidre's talking, like the glaze of his eyes as he kind of just dissociates.
Sam.
What was that? Sin, you got super quiet.
That was me being super quiet. This is
Oh.
Sam.
He hasn't answered.
Have you?
Anyways, I brought the morning report. So here's that, and then I guess I'll start on my training for the day. It was very good to see you, Blackstone.
It's also good to see you, and I hope to see you again sometime soon and hear about your adventures here.
Yeah, that would be great. Can you tell Oria and Theodora that I'm working incredibly hard? I'm trying to make them proud.
I'm going to take a risk here
Okay.
by grabbing one of Sam's hands.
Okay.
As far as I know, unless Sam has grown, he's a little bit shorter than me.
Oh yeah, he's like not even 3 feet.
Like, but Sam, I am happy to report this to them, but surely you should know. They're proud of you, man.
I know, but can you just tell them anyways?
I will tell them anything you wish to.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, if you have things you would like to add, now would be a good time to say them.
Oh, fuck! And you see, like, he starts switching around in his bags real quick.
Hang on, I've been holding this in case you all came back into town. just be very careful with it. And don't steal it. This is for everyone, not just you.
Sam, do I look like I would rob you?
I will not answer that question.
Sam, if I were going to rob you, I would have.
See, I don't know. You could have robbed me and I just don't know about it yet. I'm not the most observant.
Would you like me to attempt?
No, not really. No. Just make sure everyone gets this. And he kind of reaches into his bag and he pulls out this small satchel and he just very carefully shoves it into you. And you can see his hands are covered in cuts and bruises as well. Just be very careful with this. But I made something for everyone. And hopefully it will just remind you all, since you're all adventuring, that there are people that appreciate what you're doing and are doing their best. Okay, I gotta go.
As Sam is leaving,
Mm-hmm.
I feel this would be an appropriate time to go. By the way, Sam, I do hope that in this time that we've been away, you and Cal have managed to speak to each other. When last we were here, I think you two had much to say.
So your message tries to take, and instead you're met with a wall. Sam seems to be blocking out any kind of mental messages.
When I see and I understand that,
He kind of gives you a knowing look, too. He's like, see, I've been practicing.
so it's one of those, he is aware that I have tried to reach him,
Oh, yeah.
but he doesn't know what I said.
Mm-mm.
If he can read lips,
He
I
can-
just, if he can read lips, I say, I'm going to ask you about Cal the next time I see you.
And you kind of see a little bit of a flash of pain on his face, but he'll nod.
Sounds good. Alright, not gonna lie, I forgot what I have to do. Oh, yeah, I have to.
You are off to practice your swordsmanship.
Yeah, that. Like I said, it was really good to see you, and tell everyone I said hi. And then I also had a wonderful dinner with Toby's mom and dad the other night. Deidre thought it would be nice for me to go exploring because I haven't really left Estera, so thought that would be good to go see the other animals and stuff at the conservation. So I had dinner with Toby's parents. They're very nice. Really good food.
They make excellent cheesecake.
I didn't have that.
Next time, from what I hear, you should try some. His mom makes really good cheesecake.
I'm lactose intolerant, but I will take your word for it.
I feel like if there were anybody that would be able to help you figure out a way around that, it would be a group of people who are connected to the land.
Probably.
What kind of lactose intolerant person says I'm lactose intolerant, so I'm not gonna eat this dairy? Like, that's a fake. Fake as fuck. Lactose intolerant people are the most reckless.
Yep. You
Truly,
perhaps get
truly.
when he's saying that, he's more so, he just seems to be very much not trying to get into very personal things.
Yeah, like it's one of those. It's one of those. It's not unkind, but also the doors are closed at the moment.
Yeah, he seems to be trying to do, you would know this, I'm not even going to make you roll, your passive insight would pick up on it. He's doing the deflection. He wants to get you on something else. He doesn't really want to talk about it in greater detail. So, that's most likely where he's coming from, just having had that connection with him before and such.
Well, again, thanks, and I will perhaps talk to them about that. Okay. Safe travels and hope to see you soon.
I give him a firm nod because I feel like words are keeping him here and he doesn't want them.
Oh yeah, it's very clear. He was like, he's happy to see you, but there's confliction behind it. He still seems to be not haunted by the image of you, but it's very much like when you get sunburn and then you have another sunburn, or depending upon what kind of material of clothing you're wearing for that day, that like kind of itch that can kind of happen, or the sensitivity that can kind of happen from that too. He hasn't seemed to really been able to process what happened to him. So, and instead he's kind of avoiding it completely. So, but after a moment he pauses and then kind of gives you the briefest of hugs, and then quickly lets you go, almost like you're on fire, and then kind of quickly walks off. I hate y'all. Anyway.
I worry for him.
I'm sorry, Buxton, what was that?
I worry for him.
Yeah. He's been very hesitant to want to use any of his powers, so we're working on it, but he's at least here. He's not hiding every single day, but seems to always want to be busy. He keeps asking, and you kind of see she looks very tired when she's bringing this up. He keeps asking when he can join you all. Keeps asking if Aurea and Diodora are asking for him, and if there's anything he can do, and I think he's struggling finding use and importance, and is tying that to other people and what he can do for them.
By my experience, that is a unpleasant thing to do.
Yeah. Well, he's not healing properly, and he's rushing headfirst into something else. So,
If I can help him, I would like to. For what we have seen so far in our more recent travel, him being on an adventure right now would probably be possibly the shortest path to his unmaking.
yeah. That's why we've been trying to... Sorry, hang on a minute. We've been trying to get his focus on different areas. Doing the best that we can. So,
Well, I can always... Well, I don't know if you've seen what the inside of my mind is like. I have taken a trip through there. It is a frightening place.
so I've heard. Mine can be a terrifying place in general, even with perhaps simpler means.
It is a far less dangerous place when you're willing to face things as they are. But for someone in the state that Sam is in, well, let us hope that he finds the healing that he requires before he sets foot into that world.
Yeah. Well then, like I said, I'll keep you all posted as much as possible, but you all mean a great deal to him. So continue to make sure you're taking care of yourselves too.
Fair enough. Ah, we did have a thing we were attending.
Grenowitch, do you have the cure?
Now, I'm assuming that this is something like in a bottle or a jar or something like this.
What did you do with what Gigan gave you?
That's all like that. That was like a jar of water. That's still on me.
Mm-hmm. Well, she gave you
So-
some essence from the tree, but the actual cure itself, you all provided, and then she just showed you what to do.
Okay. I don't. Like, I'm pretty sure this comes with instructions. I, the player, do not remember what
Okay.
they are.
Okay.
So like, right, that's fine.
Yeah.
I also know that I pulled up. I got a jar of water from the lake because I wanted it for a ritual for Corbin.
Yes.
That's a separate thing, though.
Yes. Yep, that's what the jar I was talking about was. Teacher will look at you for a moment, and kind of will quickly guide you down into the depths of Astera, and you do see in the dungeon itself, oh. Did you all really do that?
I
and
think
he left?
I think Robo forgot we were on stream. Robo.
Okay. Okay. No. Mm-mm.
Amazing.
Welcome
Bro.
back.
We're in the middle of stream. You just fucked everything up. Did you forget?
You're muted.
Sorry. Sorry.
You see what happened
What
was
happened, Robo? What happened?
I tried to open that picture and everything just went blue.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I think never mind. I'm not gonna say what I'm thinking.
Too spicy to handle. Computer just gave up.
I just wow.
Yes, I was trying to open the picture and my computer went, nope, not here.
I guess I win this stream.
Yeah,
You win this round.
I win.
sorry.
So good. Hang on, because I totally forgot what we were doing. Because that just...
You should scroll up in the chat then.
No.
So a couple of things. First thing, the tech gremlins have mounted their assault with some level of success. The second thing that I wanted to say here is that we were on our way to go see Grenowitch.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I was like, wait, what the fuck are we doing? I don't remember anymore. Okay, you make your way down into the depths of Astera to the dungeons, and you see, even though there are braziers and candles and torches lit, this place is still very dark. It's very, to use Dimple's favorite word, moist. Fucking hate it. Okay, y'all can do that, but please don't leave the call again.
I did. Wasn't on purpose.
Anyways, you
So we can do that.
make your way down into the depths, and you see in one of the cells, there in the corner is what appears to be much larger than when you last left her. A much larger kind of gargoyle, gray skin, large wings, which at the tips of them, instead of it being like elegant feathers, instead they look like claws that could perhaps grapple onto things. You can see that in the darkness there is one brightly glowing red eye, and the other is largely red, but you can see there's just, it's almost like a little line of when there's light in someone's eyes, of just little bit of blue. Seemingly this is the manifestation of whatever consciousness is currently hanging on by a thread for Grenowitch. And
Okay,
she kind of
so-
hisses as soon as she sees you coming in.
So now, as a character, I have the instructions for how this is supposed to work, right?
Correct.
Do I know how long it will take for it to take effect so that I can warn Deidre of what to, like, some of what to expect?
From the memory with Geegan, she spoke about how the more seriousness and more progressed that it was, led to it taking a longer time.
Mm-hmm.
And once it gets to a certain point, it can't take.
And I'm guessing we're at the fine line of where that is.
Correct.
Okay. So when I walk in, it's kind of, we don't have long, so I'll get right to it, but it will take some time for it to reverse this process. This is fairly advanced, but I think
Yeah.
okay. So because I imagine that Geegan is just kind of like, I know that y'all are going to mess this up if I don't do this. There are probably written instructions here that I
Yes.
can really like to follow for what I'm supposed to do.
Sure.
So I like use Mage Hand to hold the instructions aloft so that myself and Deidre can read them.
Okay. The instructions, and at that moment you can kind of envision Geegan talking to you. That moment of her walking along the survivors that had been taken down into the Unitel and were being held. And she kind of walks around guiding you through each step. How much spider thread do you have, Blackstone?
The spider thread, I am pretty sure that there's an amount of it that I have, but I have no idea how much that is.
You specifically, I took a few, so.
I did. Nope. Hold on. Also, nope. I have no idea how much spider thread I have.
Okay. Why don't you roll a d4 then?
Oh,
And we'll go with that.
3.
Okay. You have 3 charges of the spider thread that you can use.
Okay.
Weldor showed that it can be brewed into a tea. But beyond that, there's one more ingredient. And this one you can't procure out in the wild. Geegan spoke about having to give a portion of yourself to allow for that thread to take.
Mm-hmm.
So how many spirit points are you putting into this?
I had to roll for spirit points before it got to this episode.
Yep.
Here I am. I'm spending them immediately.
Literally, Robo did that the other day.
Well, it's a good thing I rolled a lot. So, let me look at this real quick.
Okay.
Okay. So I did 2 spirit rolls. I'm assuming that's for spirit points that we were doing those for?
Yes, because 2 days passed. Yep.
Okay. So the first day, I got a 14 on that spirit roll.
Okay.
So I think that is what I'm going to use.
Okay. And what does it look like as you're imbuing your spirit into this tea?
Now it looks like the webbing, or like the bit of the webbing that I'm in contact with, is on fire, but the webbing doesn't burn. And the color of the flames are a very dark red.
And those flames take Grenowitch, you can see as you kind of approach that last little line of blue latching onto you. And with that look, you can feel exhaustion coming off of her in waves. And the feeling that she is barely hanging on, drifting. And she's trying to hang on to you like an anchor in a storm to keep her tethered. And her kind of claw shakes as she reaches forward, grabbing onto that.
I do ask before I give this to her. I asked Deidre if she wants to contribute anything to this, because this is a sister to her.
And you see she hesitates, her emphasize, unsure of what more she can give. And instead of imbuing spirit, she just starts talking. She goes on at length about growing up, not as kids, but kind of students at Lyros. The good memories they've had, the years and years, indeed last 40 years of experiences and a relationship, of friendship and family. It's very reminiscent of those revivification ceremonies that you've had to do now for Aurea and for Diodora. In her own way, offering up what she can in this moment, because she doesn't understand spirit. She doesn't understand any of that. But she's doing what she knows she can. And you see Grenowitch sipping the tea. And that flame disappearing within her as the words kind of carry through. As Deidre just keeps going on and on, trying to just give everything she can to this. And for a moment you see that blue kind of widen, get a bit more vibrant, before the teacup hits the floor, shattering. And you just see Grenowitch exhausted, goes to sleep. There's no other changes. But you can see her body has been almost fighting this as much as she has mentally. And her body finally relaxes. It's that look of, I have not slept in days, and I finally have a moment to rest. What that means from that rest, well, that's going to be something to be explored in the next couple of days. But Ari, the room feels a little bit lighter than it did before.
Let's hope that this reaches her. I think that it will. But I'll be back to check in a couple of minutes.
Sounds good.
See how things are progressing. However, if things change, whether for better or for worse, please let me know immediately.
Thank you.
Honestly speaking, I suppose if it weren't for her, we wouldn't know the things that we know, and things probably would have been far worse for a lot more.
One can assume. But it doesn't help us to play the what if. because we will always lose.
I hope you're right about that. I suppose I should get back to the others at some point. They are going to surely find themselves in some trouble if I do not find them.
I'm sure they'll be fine. But probably best to keep moving. I'll keep you updated as best as I can about Sam and Grenowitch.
Before I go, what about you? I know that there are a lot of things happening, and it asks for understandings of magic that even I am only just now privy to why I understand them in the first place.
Yeah. Surviving. That's the best answer I can give you right now.
Has there been anything unusual happening around here since we've left? Well, I mean, aside from, I suppose, cleaning up the rest of the things that we've had going on since we left.
No. Shifting in power and such. I'm helping out with Lyros while they seek to get a new mistress. But other than that, no. Changing of seasons. And for the moment at least, Illipin seems to be out of whatever's been going on's mind. So we're doing okay.
One more thing. Would you like me to bring you back some cheesecake?
I should probably not have any more cheesecake right now. Gotta watch my figure, and you see she does a little spin for a moment, just kind of letting things go. But I appreciate it.
There's a moment that Blackstone considers you're made out of rocks that you're able to freely shape. What do you mean? But I don't say that.
And she kind of gives you a small wink. Let's get you out of here and back to your friends. You have better things to be doing than hanging around here.
And hopefully none of them will involve violence today.
Well, wouldn't surprise me. I'll say that at least. So.
You are not wrong.
And she ushers you back out of the dungeons and escorts you basically to the gate of Stera. And you head back, I'm assuming, to meet up with the rest of the group, correct?
I do.
Okay. All right.
It's one of those, it's one of those, just a montage of Blackstone thinking about all the things while heading back to wherever the party is.
Sure. Eventually, all of you see Blackstone coming up the road. Oh, you were muted, Fair, or it didn't come through Zoom.
Zoom is being a dickhead.
Yeah, Zoom is being a major butt today.
Zoom is an ass to me every single day. How did it go?
Well, I'll need to check on things in a couple of days, but it seems at the very least she can rest from fighting against the influence of this curse upon her being. And it's probably the first time that she's been able to rest in a long time. She fought very hard.
I think that's maybe all we can ask for right now.
Oh, also, both Aurea and Theodore see Sam. They see the entire interaction in every bit of detail. It is like a crisp 4K. So you see the way that Sam sees me. You see the moments that he completely dissociates when magic is mentioned. You see that he is wearing darker clothing. You see all of the scars and the bruising. And You hear him talking about how he's won 3 out of the last 4 fights he's in. And you feel both his the hope and the anxiety that he has as he expresses that he hopes that you two very specifically are proud of him. And that he hopes to be out on adventures one day. And overlaid with that at the end, you get all of my deep levels of worry and concern about his well-being.
I think Theodora takes this all in. It's kind of a lot. Not in a bad way, just like wasn't really expecting it. But just as we are proud of him, and I don't think anybody's expecting him to be okay that soon after what happened to him. But I think he'll be all right. And when he is, he can join us. If he wants to.
He does want to, and that is the concern that I have. He seems to be very eager to rush into battles and away from the many things that are preoccupying his mind with good reason. But I think that's dangerous for him.
What I'm saying is, once he has worked through that desire, then he can join us. But not before. Because rushing into danger serves no one.
It's also already only been like a week since his whole world changed, so I think he gets some grace period where he can be all dark and broody and fight. And I don't think most of us are, well, at least I can't go against someone who's running away from a problem. Not when they're first hitting it. At least he's not leaving the city, he's not leaving his studies, and he's still here. It's a chance to learn. Which one of us hasn't run away from a problem like this?
Theodora raises her hand. It's just like, no,
Well, then
I
you're
never
both
have.
better than us, or me at least, because
For fairness to all of us, who has, had themselves placed on an altar, their magic used to power terrible things.
yeah, that's
Oh,
he
I don't
gets a
have
little
any
grace period.
magic.
He's allowed to be dark and broody right now. If in like 2 months he's still like this, then we'll consider stepping in, but it's been a week.
Let him have his goth phase a little longer than 2 weeks.
He is certainly in a place where he's safe and cared for, and
This is the perfect time to go through this phase.
Oh,
Yeah.
which reminds me, during this phase, he has gone to visit Toby's family, and he says they are all very nice. And the conservation was also a very pleasant trip to go to.
I believe that. Out of character, we've been to Toby's house, right? We've all met his family already.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you've been there.
Yeah, I understand that. They're good people.
Hey, Toby, you should make sure to unmute yourself before you say things.